Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? Hopefully, I might have actually been able to sort out the delay problem now. I'm hoping. So while we wait for more people come in, let's set up a little battle, shall we? Get some good old World War II shotgun troops on the go. Hey, that could be quite interesting, couldn't it? Yeah, I'll certainly try that out. I just wanted to have a little bit of an urban battle special at the moment. Oh, so how's everyone going? How's everyone's day going, rather? Like I said, I think I've actually managed to solve most of the latency issue now. So hopefully it should not be crazy. I think the problem was that I was sending the data at too high of a bit rate and it was making it lag. So I've actually lowered it a bit. So hopefully it should all be sorted out. Hi Ravens Eagle. How you doing, mate? For some reason, whenever this game first loads the map, it really takes a long time. I have no idea why. Yeah, you're always up super late. I've been well, mate, thank you. Just been looking forward to a bit of slaughter. And that's exactly what we're getting. As always, with the shotgun troops, they never fail. Yeah, that is a good point, Dog Duck, yeah. There's a lot to load on it. Normally, though, the second time I load it, it's a lot quicker. Oh, you gotta love the shotgun troops. They're absolutely amazing. They always create lovely little spectacles. Oh, God. We're already forming lakes of blood. Look at these brave souls here, pushing out into the zombie horde. Yeah, we did that the other day. Found out that SMG troops versus shotgun troops. That was a very short-lived fight. I just love the amount of blood that the shotgun troops make as well, because they do such little damage with each pellet. I think like each round does 6 damage or something like that, so it just makes loads of blood. Yeah, as expected, shotguns win the day. God, just absolutely tearing them open. How's the sound, by the way, guys? Can you hear me okay? Is the game too loud? Am I okay? Oh, I wish they could use ladders and stuff like that. That would be excellent. Yeah, we're sounding good? Ah, brilliant. And it looks like the latency is not too bad at all. We're looking at like about maybe 30 seconds, which is what I kind of expect. We're getting there bit by bit. I'm getting a hang of the streaming thing. Hi, Brandon. See, I always found this kind of weird. There's a lot of walls like this on this map, where they just run through them. There's also gateways. Like, there you go, there's another wall that they can just run through. Yes and no, the Dog Duck. I think it's a different beast entirely, streaming is. Streaming, there's not as much pressure on you to get it right first time round, because people understand, you know, that it can't always be perfect. But when you do a video, you know, they expect it to be on point because you've had time to edit it. Vaulting without animations, yeah. So, I think that zombies now are pretty much just on roofs. Oh, look at these guys up here. It's a good job they can shoot through the wall, isn't it? Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of months. It just suddenly happened out of nowhere. I put one video out and it suddenly got like 300 subscribers. It was a bit of a crazy shock for me. Because obviously I watched like a lot of videos about how you should go about starting a YouTube channel and all that lot. And the basic premise I was expecting was, oh, it takes about a year to get 1,000 subscribers. And then it basically happened in a period of 2 months. So it's, yeah, it's been absolutely crazy. So I'm still sort of getting to grips with everything and how it all works, but I'll get there bit by bit. I only like it if you actually like it. I don't mind. We've got a nice little community as it is. So yeah, there we go. Shotguns won. Zombies destroyed. Everyone's happy. Yeah, it is. It's like I said. It is what it is. I'm happy that people are just entertained, to be honest. Yes, tanks, catapults. Yes, we're doing that. I like the sound of it. So the first thing that we'll make is the Where is he? Catapult. We'll change his projectile. Tank shells. We'll save it as Hanky Cat. And then we'll get the Sherman, if I can find it in this list. And we'll make the Sherman fire rocks, and he'll be called Hanky Rock. Oh, thanks, Dog Duck. That's very nice of you to say so. So I think we're best off putting these in a field. Because I don't think it'll work too well in the at the city. Wow, the size of these armies is vastly different. Yeah, we can do a mirror match if you want, Ravenseed. So here we go. We now have tanks that fire rocks and catapults that fire tank shells. That's how it goes. Wait, are these catapults firing multiple shells? Or are they just firing one? No, they're firing one. I was going to say, that'd be crazy. I think what's even more crazy, though, is the fact that the tanks are actually winning. The rocks are beating tank shells. To be fair, we did leave the damage values the same, so... it's still very strange. God, look at all the tanks, how far they stretch. That's crazy. Yeah, tanks pretty much win. Even when they're firing rocks. God. There's just so many rocks flying through the air. I don't think the catapults have got anywhere near enough the range. Just absolute decimation. Though it does look like half of the rocks do go over the catapults, to be fair. Oh, look at how many there are. Wow. Look how many tanks there are. Oh my god. Chests on the floor. They're the remnants of catapults. I like to call them flat pack IKEA furniture catapults. It's what happens to a catapult when it explodes. It is kind of strange. It's sort of like Terminator style, just So yeah, the catapults are getting wrecked. I don't know why all these are going over this way. Wow, just look at all the little IKEA furniture boxes that we've made. And yeah, it is kind of strange. I suppose they've still got to shoot the rocks with something, so there probably is still gunpowder in there. No, catapult remnants have been in it for quite a while. I'd like to see trebuchets as well. Wow, look at all these. I believe they are going to make an invasion mode, so that should be basically like a tower defense kind of thing, if it's anything like their old game was. Yeah, they did just get absolutely wrecked. But I do love how... I just imagine now a tank shell with a rock in the end of it. And I quite literally imagine tank shells being just loaded onto these and flung. Yes, Brandon, we can give that a whirl. What have we got left here then? We've got 6 catapults left somewhere. Here they are. The last 2. Oh, there we go. Someone got it. So, the Shermans absolutely won that one. Like, absolutely won it. They only lost 71 tanks, which is kind of shocking, to be honest. And the fact, I love how some of the tanks are still even firing, even though there's nothing left to be shot at. Oh, thanks, Stephen. So, did you want these in a triangle formation, did you say, Brandon? Because it'll be difficult to stick them in a bit of a triangle, I think. Ooh. No, sorry, I was just setting up the next battle, so... Gosh, it's going to be hard to fit them in somewhere. I think we might have to put them over this side here. Oh yeah, the crackling sound you can hear in the background is this fiery stuff here down at the bottom, by the way, guys. It's just the game audio. It's got like a burning embers sound in the background. Let's give this a whirl, eh? Oh, good. It's all good. All good. Something tells me here that the US military are going to absolutely stomp the Romans. Maybe not the shotgun troops, because I've learnt it that the Roman shields can actually deflect shotgun rounds. So it should be quite an interesting actually fight. So let's kick this one off. Yes, I have heard of Men at War franchise. Which ones are these over here? Oh dear. So these are the archers over here who are just going to get absolutely slaughtered, I think, at this range. And over here then must be our shotgun troops. Yeah, and the Roman archers are just getting massacred. What is going to be interesting is these shields here are going to actually deflect the shotgun rounds. So, that will actually be quite interesting late game. We also have the Roman generals on here, and they can take an absolute beating. Yeah, each projectile, Raven's Eagle, each projectile is calculated individually, and each projectile does about 6 damage. So, oh gosh, even the Roman generals are just getting absolutely slaughtered here. Who'd have thought that 100,000 SMGs would be that powerful? Go over here. This is where some of the interesting stuff is going on. Look at the concentrated firepower of these shotguns over here. Oh my god. God, that sound. So you can see every now and then one of the shotgun troops is dying. That's the deflection. See that then? Yeah, the deflections are also hurting these guys. Them Roman shields do deflect shotgun bullets. Do you think they'll actually be able to bridge the bodies across? I'm not sure. Let's see, how are our SMG troops going on? Don't tell me they pretty much killed all the generals. Yep, they've pretty much killed all the Roman generals. So as strong as Roman generals are, they are not strong enough yet to take on SMG troops. They are getting closer, little by little. Oh, then it's, yeah. There is just not enough of them. I don't think the SMG bullets actually deflect either, so... And we've made our first lake of the evening. Yep, they do. Deflected bullets do deal damage. Yes, Harry, that is absolutely correct, they do. So if you gave them tank shells, they would shoot out about 20 tank shells at once. Wow. Look at that. just an absolute massacre. I feel very sorry for these Romans. What have we done to them? God. No, I guess it wouldn't now. Space Marines are very, very overpowered though. Oh, look at that. That's a brutal sight. Just the sound of all the deflecting bullets as well. You know, with the scenario editor that they've developed, you could actually make some very interesting things if they give us the ability to make our own scenarios. We would be able to do some fantastic things in this game. What do I think of the Giant Hen? I love the Giant Hen. It has become one of my favourite units in the game. The next video that I'm currently making on, I just need to do some voiceover work for it, is actually about the Giant Hens. So... oh, it's been difficult to do because I keep laughing every time I go to record the voiceover, so it's been really hard to do. Wow, this is just an absolute slaughter. I think the only things that are going to save this fight are going to be these SMG troops over here. Oh my god. So yeah, I think we can confirm that the Roman shield definitely does not deflect SMG bullets, but it will deflect shotgun bullets. Because these guys are getting slaughtered over here. Oh, that... Wow, I think most of the shotgun troops have pretty much died as well. That is a bit of a shock. That deflection really does help the Romans. So yeah, there really is just the SMG troops left here. Have a look at the kill counters. So yeah, it looks like only 100 SMG troops died in total so far. Mantis shrimp are insanely strong though. Have you seen them things? They boil water with the punches. If it was put to scale, it'd be accurate, because obviously they're not that big in real life, but if they were, I would imagine that the punch would be able to send cars flying. The only thing I know about a mantis shrimp is that its punch is so powerful that it boils water when it punches, and that's why you see a load of bubbles actually come out. Steph, that used to be an old bug in the game. Have you updated the game at all? Because I used to have that problem ages ago, but with the last update, it fixed it because they've put borders on all the proper borders on all the maps now. Wow. Look at this, we've filled in a trench. Completely filled in a trench. Not just one, two. This is deep, isn't it? Yeah, that's quite deep. Wow, look at that. Bring on the Warhammer mods. This game is going to be... This map and this game is going to be amazing with Warhammer mods. I can't wait to see Imperial Guardsmen. Imperial Guardsmen, Orcs, Chaos. Bring it all on. Oh, look at this brave Roman. It's a general. Look at him go. Oh. Well, he tried. So what have we got left over here? There's 1,000 troops left somewhere, apparently. Oh, they're over here. What have they been doing over here? Have these guys been slacking? Look at them all. What are they doing? I think they actually might be stuck, you know. I'm not quite sure, but they've definitely been slacking. To run on water, you'd have to run 77 miles an hour. What about blood? Because I know people can run on custard, because they did it on a show called Brainiac, where they filled up a swimming pool full of custard and some guy was able to run across the top of it. Oh, these are some Roman generals here. Yes, I do like Tau, I must admit. A very unfair race, very overpowered. Very much a sit back and destroy everything from a very far range kind of race. I've always had a soft spot for orcs though, obviously, just because of how they talk.
Here, let's make it orcish. That makes you go faster, it does.
There wasn't Star Wars units officially, not by the developers of the game, but there was almost as soon, literally, as soon as they released modding for the game, there was Star Wars units that came out straight away, so it won't be long. But there we go. That was a clear-cut victory. Romans got absolutely slaughtered. It appears that there's not much that can stand up to the US military. Has anyone got a battle request that they'd like to do? While I sip my coffee. Giant hands versus US military. Ooh. Okay. I like the sound of that. And then we can do, tell you what, we'll do them all in order. So we'll go Dog, Duck, Ravens, Eagle, and then we'll do yours again, Brandon. Do you have a map that you want to try it on, Dog, Duck? No problem, Stefan. Is it Stefan? Stephen? Trenches. Yeah, no problem. So, are we going shotguns or SMGs, do you think? What is going to be the best to take out some hens? Mix of both. In that case, then, we're going to leave them there. We'll put these over on this side of the trench over here. One. Then another team. Put them on team one as well. Get them over here. Mainly shotguns. So we'll only have 30,000 of them then. So, it would help if I set them all to attack as well, wouldn't it now? Oh, I love it. Oh, God. Yeah. See, this is why I struggle. I've been struggling to do my voiceover for the video. How can you not laugh at that? It's just the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. Wow. A sea of hens. We've got hens in the trenches. This is a very surreal sight. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, you've never been able to change colours in this game, unfortunately. It's just one of them sad things. I don't know if it's a restriction they've got with the units or how they make them or something like that, but yeah, everyone always wanted that in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 1. Everyone always wanted the ability to change your unit colours, and they never added it. And it doesn't look like they're really acknowledging it for this game, so I doubt we're going to get it. But you know what? You never know. You never know. Oh my God. Is this just not a surreal sight? Yeah, I think it's somehow to do with how they've actually coded the units into the game, though. Because I think they'd have to split them into literally 4 factions, wouldn't they? You'd have to have Spartan Red, Spartan Blue, Spartan Orange. And I don't think they want to do that because it'd look messy. Because... Not to rag on the game, but I don't think their menu interactions are the best. The drop-down systems and all that lot. It's just too clunky. It needs... Too clocky. Too clucky. It needs a bit of work. It is just a surreal sight though, that is. It's the mass swarms of hens in the background moving about. So it looks like they're really struggling with this trench, to be honest. It looks like they're getting stuck in the trench line. You know what? It's really tough call, because these chickens take a hell of a beating, you know. And they have got through on this side over here. So that's why I hid the kill counter, because I don't want to actually know how many chickens have died, because I know a lot have died, and a lot of American troops have died here, but you know what? I really do think it's going to be the chickens, unfortunately. Oh god, did you see that then? There was just a guy flying through the air. Oh. Oh, you just fell into the middle of about 1,000 angry hens. There is a lot of hens dying, but there is also a lot of shotgun troops dying. Look, they're actually managing to come over on this side, but the SMG troops here are just absolutely turning them into, well, I was going to say chicken dinners, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to eat it with the amount of lead that's been put in it. So yeah, look, they're really struggling here. Wow. God, the sound of all them shotguns is very loud in my ears. Don't know how it is for you. Yeah, if there was Starship Troopers mods for this, I would probably make about 1,000 videos on there. Yeah.
It's an ugly planet. It's a bug planet.
Thank you. Starship Troopers versus Warhammer. See, now that'd be hard. I don't know. See, because I've got a lot of fond childhood memories of Warhammer from when I was like 13 years old. Don't get me wrong, I still like it today, but it's a different kind of like. When I was 13 years old, I actually played all the tabletop stuff and all that kind of thing, and nowadays it's a lot more the video games that I play, let's put it that way. But I don't know which one I'd actually want to root for there, because they're two of my favourite things, and I don't want either of them to lose. I don't know if any of you know of this game, but there used to be an old game called Total Annihilation, and I'd love to see someone actually mod some of the units from Total Annihilation into this game, because that'd be like a childhood dream come true. So yeah, these chickens are just sort of like standing back and getting shot by shotguns. That's pretty much what's happening here. Let's have a look at the sneaky look at the kill counters. Okay, okay. It's not as bad as it looks. You know, the US military have only lost, like, you know, almost 11,000. Or is that the chickens? I don't know. No, I think the chickens have only lost about 4,000, surely. Which side is which? Can anyone remember? I can't. I'm thinking Team 2 was the Americans. It would make sense, considering how many dead chickens there are. Or hens, whatever you want to call them. Can they actually shoot through the bodies? I would hope so. Yeah, it appears that they're still shooting. At least I can hear him shooting. You know what's kind of weird as well? The hens don't really seem to bleed that much. Ah, right, so the mother of all hens are getting absolutely wrecked. So they've lost about 12,000 hens. Wow. It's a bit of a shame that they don't really bleed. And like you said before, I wish they did stack. The bodies would stack. It'd make my Chuck Norris video a bit easier with all the bodies stacking. So I don't know if there are hens that are actually going to be able to... Look at them lumbering in here. I don't know if the hens are actually going to be able to surround them here. I think the soldiers are killing enough of them. Wow, look at how far they're having to go round to path round. Member berries, jeez. Hey, member when? I remember. Wow, these hens are really taking a beating, aren't they? Hey, Space Pirates, welcome. No, I don't think the World War II soldiers are going to win this. There is a heck of a lot of hands. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of hands. Possess a hen. Oh gosh. Okay, we can try to possess a hen. I've never done this, so we'll take one from over here. Oh, how do I even get up? How did they get up? We got some cheating hens here. Oh, there we go. I got up. Let's go hunting. It's almost like a T-Rex, the way it lumbers. Oh, just as I went to attack, it died. Out of all the battle requests, which one's my favourite? Honestly, I think it was one that we did the other day where we had the melee soldiers mixed with the shooty soldiers on the trench map. Where we had the redcoats who could shoot and the redcoats who were melee against the World War II soldiers who were melee and could shoot as well. That was quite good. I think a lot of people are going to be eating chicken after this. Well, actually, I think there's going to be a lot of chickens eating people after this, should I say. Yeah, I pretty much made it all the way there and died. You know what, let's try again. I want to actually try and attack something. Oh my god. They just like aim for me because I'm the player. Come on, dodge. No. Oh my god. That is some heavy firepower they've got coming down there. I swear they aim for me because I'm the player. God, look at all of them. This is truly what the apocalypse would look like. You know that. Just giant hens stalking the earth. God, them shotguns are so loud. Though, you've got to feel good if you're these guys in the middle. I mean, you know you're safer than almost anyone else around them. US soldiers are stream sniping. They are. That's exactly what they're doing. Hen apocalypse. Or the henocalypse. Oh god, the henocalypse. It's all gone a bit eggy. To be honest, out of the two, I think I'd prefer the zombie apocalypse, because video games and movies has taught us how to deal with the zombie apocalypse. No video game or movie has ever taught us how to deal with 20-foot tall hens surrounding us. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd panic, and I'd probably start running, and then I'd just get pecked to death. At least with a zombie, you know, bash it on the head. What do you do with a 20-foot chicken? You know, you can shoot it with a shotgun, but it's 20 foot tall. That's pretty much going to do nothing to it. World War C. World War KFC.
When Colonel Sanders raised an army, there was only one man that could stop him.
Oh, we'd have to send Bruce Willis after him. That's someone I'm surprised they haven't added into the game, actually, Bruce Willis. We're just going to have to build the world's biggest frying machine. That's how we'll take on the henocalypse. Honestly, I must say, henocalypse sounds more like a hipster beer than anything else. Hey, have you tried this henocalypse? Air fryers. Yeah, I suppose. Wendy's would save us. Wow, Wendy's going to need a hell of a lot of shotguns, I'm going to tell you that. No, they're definitely not. I think they're very much steroid chickens at this point. Can you imagine getting one of these at a drive-thru at a McDonald's? It's almost Flintstone type level of living, that is. Oh, look how many hens are left. There's so many left. It's almost like a David Attenborough. Here we see the giant migration of hens, slowly moving in on the World War II soldiers. The hens are hungry for blood. As you can tell, my Attenborough impression is awful. Even though he's a fallow tea drinker, unfortunately, I don't sound anything like him. And unfortunately, I don't drink tea either. Okay, so we've got one person left somewhere. Well, unfortunately, the henocalypse won. Yeah, pretty much the trenches was the only thing that saved them from instant defeat there. Okay, so next up was Ravenseagle, I believe. You wanted Romans versus Roman generals. Same amount on each side. we are about to witness a mega slaughter. You know what? We'll put them on either side of a trench here. Okay. So, we've got our Romanskis here, and the Romansky generals over here. Let's see. Let's watch the slaughter begin. So the Romans have gone straight for the trenches here. Oh gosh, look how fast the Roman generals move compared to the normal Romans. Look at them! Oh my god! They're like the $6 million man, if any of you remember that. They ran so fast. Wow. Limited edition Romans. I suppose, yeah. What, they like them pop things? I can't remember what they're called. They like pop culture, the little plastic things that you can buy. Yeah. Showing me age there a bit, was I? I just love how these trenches keep them separate. Like, it creates this weird dynamic that you can just see in the middle. Though it does get confusing finding out which side is which until you get close. Because at a distance, it's kind of hard to tell who's who. They just sort of look the same. Yeah, this is just a wholesale slaughter at the moment. I love the little trench fighting though. That is one of my favourite parts. It's the trench fighting. Yeah, he does, isn't it, a bit? Just sort of staring each other down like, morning, morning, how's the wife? Well, she's alright. And then you have to stab him. It's also sort of like, not really that much of a drop, is it? Let's face it. Especially for this side here. But then again, they are wearing armour, so it could hurt. I've never jumped off anything wearing armour, so I could imagine it could hurt. God, the generals are just slaughtering them. The generals so far have killed 4,400 odd, 4,500, and the Romans have killed 200 generals. So, yeah. Well, they had horse units in the first game, so I've no doubt that they'll have horse units in this game. I definitely think that one Space Marine could defeat the entire army of Rome. I think the only thing that the Romans would have that would actually be able to do anything against a Space Marine is a catapult or a trebuchet, and that's literally crushing him with a giant rock. I think that's about all they'd actually be able to do. Space Marines are 8 foot tall, and their armour is made out of some sort of crazy futuristic concrete. So yeah, it's all powered by servos and pistons and targeting navigation. Depends what your phase is set to. If it's set to stun, then Alaska will win. Yeah. Yeah, probably, yeah, with his bare hands. And he wouldn't even need a rest in between it. He could do it all in one go. From start to finish. I think one of the things that always amazed me about Space Marines is the fact that dreadnoughts are literally the bodies of Space Marines that they couldn't piece back together, so they stuck them in a giant mech instead. Oh, look at these Romans go here. Absolutely slaughtering... Well, they're both Romans. Look at the Roman generals go here. Absolutely slaughtering the way up the ramp. I wonder what's going through these Romans' head. Like, the standard Roman troops. You've got to be thinking, God, that's a lot of generals on the other team. I'd love to see the armies of chaos in this as well. That'd be quite good. NIDs as well. StarCraft units, definitely. Very sorry, guys. I just need to be right back, like, 2 minutes. Very sorry. Won't be a moment. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. There's some things going on in the background I had to sort out. Yeah, the generals really are clearing out the way here. Oh yeah, God ducked, by the way. I saw your response. Very smart. Very smart, but wrong, unfortunately. I thought it was a genius response, to be honest. Howler monkeys, oh my. Well, if we're having howler monkeys, then we need Russian armoured warbears as well. That's got to be in there. We need the Tiger King, he needs to be in it. Yeah, there's loads of cool units that they could add to this game. I really want them to add more, like, ammo types. I'd really like to see things like mortars. I'd really like to see things like rockets, so we could do, like, rocket batteries and stuff like that. I'd love to see loads of stuff in this game. Battleships, boats. I mean, being able to do coastal barrages on this game would be amazing. These generals are really making an excellent push here in the centre, I must say. They've, like, completely cleared out the trenches now, the generals have, I think. I think it is... Yeah, the trenches are 100% owned by the generals now. Oh, actually, no, apart from this little bit here. But yeah, pretty much the rest of it is just... slaughter. Cannons. Oh, I'd love cannons. Howitzers. There's so many things that they need to add to the game. Or hopefully enable modding support that mods can actually do such things. That'd be good. This has literally split in two now. Look at this. Two totally different armies fighting now. Like three, actually. Oh my. So there is a much smaller amount of Roman generals over here, but they are just clearing out the Romans, not the normal Romans, nonetheless. I always love just seeing the bodies fall into the pits. Just like that, yeah. Laser weaponry, yes, magic, that would be an interesting addition to the game. These Romans in particular, they are from roughly 30 BC or before. I only know that because of the video I did on them. And their armour is from around 30 BC. Oh god. I hope that's not a reference to Darkest Dungeon. Raven's Eagle. You know, I must admit, I was very concerned when they said we're going to focus on a campaign for this game. I was like, but Total War exists, and that's got a mega campaign, and then there's things like Men at War. There's so many other games out there with campaigns that it's going to be hard for them to make a campaign that would be competitive. And then they released it, and it was basically the tools for a scenario editor. And I was very happy with that, because it means eventually that modders will be able to make their own scenarios, and that is going to be something that is very cool, because we'll be able to get so many crazy game modes from that. they'll be able to literally do whatever they can come up with. We could get our tower defense games, we could get base building from that. Who knows what you can get from that kind of thing. It depends how powerful the tools are, to be honest. Ah, that's right. So there was a thing called Darkest Dungeon, and it's basically it's about Dungeons and Dragons, but it's what's the best way to put it? It's sort of a religious anti-Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing, saying that people who play Dungeons and Dragons are worshipping the occult. And it's discouraging people from playing that and turning to Jesus Christ instead. It's brilliant. Wow, the Romans have been... I keep saying the Romans. The normal Romans have been completely cleaned out here. The generals have just slaughtered them. "62,000 dead normal Romans and only 3,000 dead generals at the moment." Let's have a look at our trenches. Are they full? There's not much blood in them. There's some, but not much. You got to sort of feel sorry for these Romans here. They have quite literally watched thousands of their friends die and are just standing there waiting for their own turn. How are we doing over here in the centre? Wow, look at that. They've proper carved out. And over here, yeah, they've almost completely pushed out of this area now. Though there isn't many of them left, their entire force is deployed here. Yeah, pretty much. Have I heard of a game called Exanime? No, I haven't, sorry. Yeah, the normal Romans have been decimated. There is no denying it. I love how they look in the distance. You can just see like the hints of red when the light shines off them. Look at the Romans just pouring in here. You can actually beat the Spartans. On the first ever live stream, we did 100,000 Roman generals versus 100,000 Spartans, and the Spartans got absolutely annihilated. The trolls, I think we did a very small test of that. I think we did 10 trolls versus 100 Roman generals, and the trolls won. But trolls are very strong in this game. They live up to the name of troll. Let's have a look at here. Oh, look at this one. They have almost completely cut off the normal Romans here. There's only 12,000 normal Romans remaining. Oh, look at these poor guys here. You have no idea. Just look how quick they're dying. An absolute massacre has taken place before our eyes here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, I know I could have done that, the dog duck, but the problem with that is the body pile would have not been in the same place, if you know what I mean. So I wanted to create a perfect pyramid, and to get a perfect pyramid you'd only have to have one unit killing. Otherwise you'd get two pyramids forming next to each other and it'd look a bit odd. So unfortunately I had to do it as one Chuck Norris. One of the other problems that I had with that video as well is that the bodies just do not pile directly below. They sort of roll down the hill and start forming miniature hills right next to it, so yeah. It was quite a big project in the end. Yeah. That's pretty much, yeah. It got to a point where the zombies really just, there wasn't enough, and after 12 hours of recording, I'd had enough. I wanted to I wanted to sit down and watch and play some things on my computer at that point. And then I had to edit that video down, and when I compressed it down, it started getting really difficult. The quality started getting compromised on the video. So, I think the Romans have just been completely done over here. Well, the normal Romans, should I say. This is the last gaggle of them here. Yeah, there is literally no other normal Romans left. They are all here. If it's a normal battle video, normally takes me about a day to 2 days. If it's one of the special videos where, you know, we go through a unit and power it up, it can take up to 3 days to edit it, just because it's finding the time to do voiceovers, really, with having a daughter. I can only do them either very early in the morning or late at night, otherwise there's just a screaming child in the background. So, but hopefully I should be sorting out some office space soon, so I might be able to cut that time that it takes me to do videos down a little bit. So I should be able to start doing them a little bit faster. Yeah, Romans versus Zombies, that was the next one. And thank you for that. Oh, look, here they are. The last stand. Oh, God. Okay, well, the last fall, as it actually became. He got poked so hard he flew off the edge. The Roman generals absolutely decimating them. They only lost 4,429. However, I'm not quite sure. I'm guessing we didn't spawn a full 100,000 because only 96,000 normal Romans actually died. My favourite hero unit, gotta be Keanu Reeves. Easily Keanu Reeves. Because the zombies, you've always got to have a horde of zombies. You know what? Let's try something a little bit different here. Let's go back to the city. Oh no, actually, let's try it on Egypt. I wonder if it'll work here. We're going to try do it in the city. So hopefully, pardon me, hopefully if I put either army either side of the city, they'll actually fight in the city. Just makes more sense to me that the Romans would be in the desert. It was in the first game, Brandon. The zombies used to, when they killed an enemy unit, it'd spawn a zombie. I'll tell you one of my favourite units from the first game as well, actually. They used to have skeletal warriors in it as well. Skeleton warriors. They were really cool. I loved them. I would start singing, but everyone would leave. And I'd probably wake up the wife and child, and I don't want to do that. So, we got our Romans, and we got our zombies. Let's see what happens, eh? We're going to have some brutal urban combat here. Some of my favourite kind of combat when it comes to melee. Not that I'd ever actually want to be in melee urban combat, that actually sounds horrible, but to watch it in a video game, that's fun. Chariots, yeah, that'd be cool. What? What? How would that even work? The dog duck. Oh, right, I got you. It wasn't really the Italians I was questioning. It was more the mustard. This is CQB. Oh, have we got a fight going on in here? I've never actually seen them fight inside here. I did one video where I managed to get a load of guys in here and they were shooting loads of zombies as they were coming in. That was really kind of cool. Wow. This battle has spread out much further than I anticipated it would. Let's have a look how much it's actually spread out. Look at that. Considering I put them all next to the city. Look at the zombie horde just coming down here. Solid Snake. Now, would that just be him in a cardboard box? You can break the dam. It just, yeah, it's a bit... To be honest, I haven't tested... We'll test it at the end of this battle. Because I haven't tested it since the last update. So I don't know if they might have fixed it. It's always weird when the sounds overlap like that as well. When there's like 3 or 4 troops who all play the same sound animation at the same time, it's just ew. So there's hardly any zombies here. Can they not get in this part? No. Looks like they'd have to fall down there to get in. Let's have a look at our kill count so far. It looks like the Romans are doing a fine stand-up job, really. They've killed about 13,000 so far, and the zombies have only killed about 5. So, you know, they're doing 2 for 1. Damn shame. You know, I spent about 10 minutes before trying to see if there was an Easter egg in here. Just seeing if they'd put one funny image in the hieroglyphics, and they haven't. There's no funny images in there, unfortunately. It needs the monks from, what's it, Age of Empires, who can convert enemy units to your cause. That's what it needs. I love when the deflector hit, how they just sort of stick the groin out towards the enemy. I wonder how high we can get these bodies piled up here. Do you think they'll get level with the roof? Yeah, gosh, if you had to fight in a war, what war would it be? Gosh. I don't think any of the periods of history are nice. If it's medieval, then it's a case of you're going to get chopped up to bits and there's going to be no modern medicine to help save you. If you go to the middle technology, it's muskets and you're basically lining up to be shot. And if you go to modern warfare, it's all drones and artillery strikes, which I don't find... To be honest, I don't know. None of them sound nice. Modern wars do have more casualties, that is true. But I think it's the brutality, the brutal nature of older wars. I think it's the lack of medicine that puts me off for older wars. If you get shot by a musket round and you live, then you're going to die of lead poisoning, you know, or they'll just chop your leg off, and then you're pretty much screwed. But at least with modern weaponry, it's normally quite quick. If you get hit by a modern artillery shell, you won't know much about it, would you, really? See, of all the yeah, World War One, yeah, of all the things, that is probably the most horrific. And it's not really even just the fighting. No, that's only American muskets, Brandon. Only American muskets are 50 caliber. Who do you think's going to win this? I'm thinking it's the Romans, because even though they're outnumbered 2-1, that's exactly how many they're killing, 2-1, so it could be a very close fight, this could, actually. It does look like the Romans are pushing out of the town bit by bit. Yeah. The invention of most medicine practices saved a lot of lives, to be fair. I think the major breakthrough in life came when they decided to stop giving barbers surgeon rights. I think that was a major breakthrough in modern medicine. Don't get your leg amputated in the same place you get your hair cut. Well, you say that, cool person, but all the knights in the army were rich people and rich folk. All the ones in the heavy armour, anyway. So you would still fight. Yeah, barber surgeons. See, again, Tudor times, places like that, I just, no, couldn't do it. I think... No, barber surgeons, it was a very real thing. You could go to the barber surgeon, I don't know if you've ever seen them, but these are normally a spinning thing out the side, the front of them, that is normally red and white. And the reason it's red and white is to indicate that it was a barber surgeon, where you could have your legs amputated, bloodletting, leeching, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think I'd trust a barber nowadays to, you know, amputate anything. I don't believe you ever had them. I don't know if you had them in over in America or anywhere like that. It might have been a very strictly European thing, the barber surgeon. Though, don't quote me on that. If you... am I right in thinking Sweeney Todd might have been a barber surgeon? I'm not sure, though. I saw that movie a very long time ago. But Sweeney Todd might have been some sort of barber surgeon. I know he's definitely a barber. Well, you've got to think back then what medicine was literally amputation or putting leeches on you. I mean, I know in England an old cure for a headache was to take, like, we're talking medieval England, the doctors or apothecaries as they were known back then, said to get rid of a headache you should take a live fox and strap its testicles to your head. So, you know, they didn't really know much about medicine back in the day. Wow, look at their street fighting here. That is one narrow street here. Sort of reminds me of the favelas. Yeah, history is an amazing thing. Some of the most craziest things ever that you can learn about from history. Here's an interesting fact for World War II that some of you might not know. British intelligence during World War II contacted the French resistance and told them to stop trying to assassinate Hitler during World War II. The reason being was because Hitler was making that many military blunders with his army. It was actually more beneficial to the Allied powers that be for him to stay alive. So they said, don't kill Hitler, he'll lose the war for them. And they were afraid that if Hitler was killed, someone who actually knew what they were doing would take over, and that the Allies might lose the war in that case. So How crazy is that? Yeah. Ferdinand! Ferdinand! Don't know if any of you have ever seen Downfall, but that film is absolutely brilliant. So many memes were born from that film. Yeah, that's exactly it, Raven's Eagle. I also believe that if I'm right in thinking, there is a British private who had a journal during World War One, and he wrote about how he almost shot a 16 or 17-year-old boy. And historians believe that that 16 or 17-year-old boy who we almost shot was actually Adolf Hitler, which is kind of crazy because Hitler was a messenger runner during World War One, and they believe that this private could have actually shot Hitler, but because he saw that he was basically a young boy, he didn't actually shoot him. So there you go. But I don't know how accurate that is, so it's just something I have heard. Oh, the street fighting here is getting quite brutal now. Hitler couldn't kill a giant hen, yeah. I'm not quite sure. He might have almost drowned. I know he dated a Jewish girl when he was younger. I know that. Also know he was a big fan of art, but he was terrible artist apparently. I can tell you what art he wasn't a fan of. The art of war, because my god, he was terrible at that. You know, I love old philosophical sayings. I really do like them. Some of them are very inspiring. One of my favourites was from Confucius, who said, "A bowl is most useful when it is empty." Such a simple saying, but it's quite right. This has been an absolute brutal fight on this frontier. The Romans have not yielded any ground and have just basically slaughtered their way through a massive amount of zombies here. There's quite a body pile under all this. Oh god, that's loud. Can we actually see the body pile? No. We can see up a Roman skirt if you really wanted to, but... This is such a weird combat fighting angle here. All Romans rolling down the hill. Rolling Romans. Gosh, if Hitler had Bob Ross's temperament, World War II wouldn't have happened. What, you really want to see Upper Roman skirt, do you, Brandon? You want to see if the developers have actually bothered to render anything? I know, yeah. We could have had a very different story about Hitler nowadays, couldn't we, really, with that? If he'd married the Jewish girl and became a painter. Ooh, we're actually getting some fighting on the inside here. We are. This is a rare occurrence, indoor fighting. Gosh, the Romans are actually completely surrounded here, aren't they now? With an afro. I hope you don't mean, like, Afro guy, Afro man. So how many zombies have we got here? There's not many zombies there. There's hardly any reinforcements, so they're all coming from that side now. So yeah, oh god, look at that. That's terrifying. Oh, okay, that looks really cool. Yeah, I believe Bob Ross. What was he? Vietnam War Bob Ross? Or was it something else? No, I believe it was Nam, wasn't he? Honestly, another time period of places I would not like to be. Vietnam, Jesus. What a horrible, horrible combat situation that is. Fun fact about Vietnam, the enemy of America was not actually called the Viet Cong, they were called the Viet Minh. That was their actual name, but CIA and FBI and all them lot, they didn't believe that they could sell the war to the American public if they were called the Viet Minh, so they changed the name to the Viet Cong to make them sound more aggressive. Fun fact, how to sell a war to your population. Am I actually right in saying? I believe that the Vietnam War is one of the only wars that America has lost as well. I might be right in saying that. I'm not 100% sure on it, but I think it is one of the only wars that they've lost. That and maybe... Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm not too up on American history, but didn't they sign some sort of peace treaty after the White House was burned down as well with the British? I'm not quite sure. I don't know if that was a mutual agreement or an actual defeat though. Maybe one of you actually know but more about American history than I do. Did they actually... Who actually won the American Revolution? Because I know the British eventually left America after that, but I know they also sailed up the river and set fire to the White House, and America did also sign a peace treaty at that point, so I don't know if it's classed as a loss or not. But I know for a fact that Vietnam is the only war that America has lost. And no one really won that war though, let's face it. It was a devastation for both sides. So I'm really hoping that the zombies can get a few more units through here, because they're just getting slaughtered. How many we got left? So they've still got a fair amount of zombies left, but I think they're all just stuck up here. Yeah, like I said, I'm not 100% sure. I just know that Nam was one heck of a violent war. For both sides. Bunker Romans. Yeah, I suppose they are, really. And you know what? They're doing a Trump here. They are building a wall. Only this wall is made out of dead zombies. Yes, they are actually making a little defense for themselves. Look how high they are off the ground now. Okay, I'm gonna do it, guys. I'm sorry, but I have to find out. Is there anything in there? No, there's nothing in there. Thank God for that. I thought the developers might have tried to render something on the inside. Oh, the Romans are breaking through on this side. So, what's going on then? We've actually managed to clear out pretty much. Here, remember when we started how big? Like, the zombies were piled from here all the way down. So, yeah, they've killed quite a few. And this line has barely budged. There's going to be a lot of dead zombies under here. No, there's no Roman cheeks now. No, I'm not that old, I'm afraid. Dave Vanjie. The year the Soviet Union fell. Wow, what a year to be born. Welcome, Chad. 2000, gosh. You were 10? Oh, when that ended? No way. Yeah, I'm sort of, I'm mid-age. I'm old enough to be... I was about when there was no internet, so to speak. I'm old enough to have experienced that. Gosh. To be honest, Dave, though, I bet he's sort of glad about that, is he not? VHS, yeah. Yeah, I'm not actually boomer, I'm borderline. But I'm not even that old. No. I'm not old enough to become... I'm still classed as a millennial. I'll say that much. I'm very sorry about that, Dave. Gen X. Oh man, ages are just a number. As Charlie Sheen once said, you're only as old as the women you feel. I don't know if that's appropriate or not, but, you know, I suppose what he's actually trying to say is you're only as old as you actually feel. And I'm still a kid on the inside. I still like playing video games and watching things explode. So, what we got left going on here? I think the Romans are going to go on a flanking manoeuvre pretty soon here. Oh, we finally get to see our pile of bodies down here, do we? Oh, you can hear the the blood flowing here. You know, there's so many things that I wish I was able to see. That I was just sort of not in that time period. See, I don't exactly like a lot of technology. I hate mobile phones. They really annoy me. See, things that I like, I'd like to go back in time and be able to see things like Pink Floyd in the prime. I'd love to be able to do that. I bet only some of the older people here would actually know who the hell Pink Floyd are. But, you know, I'd love to be able to see people like Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin back in the prime. Love to be able to go see some of the older bands, some of the older music. I'd love to go see things like Chuck Berry and Buddy Holly. I think they'd be amazing things to see. Yeah, Gen X. I think it's Gen Z, isn't it? Because I've got a 30-year-old, he's classed as a Gen Z. So it might be Gen Z, not Gen X. Oh gosh, there's so many. There's so many Gen Z, Gen X, Gen whatever. There's so many. Gosh. What a first political event to have a memory of. I can remember hearing about it on the news as I left school. It was crazy. Because obviously being in school we hadn't heard anything about it, and the time difference between us and America at the time, it was... You just couldn't believe it. Oh. Yeah, I was actually in school back then. I think I was finishing up my last year of school. It's not just your phone. A modern day calculator is more powerful than the spacecraft that took Buzz, Neil, and the other guy, I can't remember the name of, I'm very sorry, to the moon. A modern day calculator has the same power as the spaceship that took them. The first computer I ever had, it was something called a Packard Bell, and it had 166 hertz of memory. Not megabytes, 166 hertz of memory. Collins, that was it. Thank you, Dave. Yes. Yeah, it is kind of sad. Modern day calculators are more powerful than that spacecraft. Yeah, it's understandable, Fabio. At that age, you don't understand what's going on, do you, really, though? You know? Gosh, we got suicidal zombies yet again, I believe. So what have we got left here now, then? Yeah, you know, when I grew up, there was no internet when I was younger. Probably till about the age of maybe 10 to 12. That's when the internet really started becoming a thing for us. So I got the best of both worlds, really. When I was younger, I used to play outside in the mud and all that kind of stuff, like the old boomers say. And then as I grew up, I started, like, hating that and wanted to sit inside playing video games all day. Unreal Tournament came along and took over my life, to be honest. Yeah, YouTube 8 years ago, gosh, yeah. Oh, Dave, that's brilliant. You know, I used to work in a computer shop when I was younger that sold computer components and stuff like that. And bless her, we had an old lady who came in and she bought a monitor for a computer, just the monitor, and she took it away with her, took it home, and the next day she came back and she says, it doesn't work. I thought, oh, that's strange, because it's brand new. And I plugged in the monitor, turned on the monitor, and the monitor turned on, no problem. And I said, yeah, look, it does work. And she says, oh, but how do I get to the desktop on it? This poor lady had thought that because she'd bought a monitor, that she'd actually bought an entire computer. Beepers, God. Populous the Beginning, gosh. Yeah, I used to play that a hell of a lot when I was younger. Do you know what's weird as well? It's CD drives. How many of you guys actually have CD drives in your computers anymore? Even CDs have become obsolete. I haven't got a CD drive in my PC anymore. I can't remember the last time I tried to put a disc in my computer. It's been 3, 4, maybe 5 years since I've attempted to put a CD in my computer. Is it for watching films though, Raven's Eagle? Or is it like playing video games or something like that? Oh, Blu-ray player. You know, me and my dad, back in the day, we are talking back in the day, we used to get letters from our internet service provider saying that we're using too much bandwidth because we were downloading loads of movies. Fear. Oh gosh. First Encounter Assault Recon. That is a game. that I had no idea what it was. It was a game I found on a cracked website back in the day, that was. I downloaded it, had no idea what it was, and absolutely, beg my pardon, shat my pants because I didn't know it was a horror game. That game freaked me out because I played it expecting something like Unreal Tournament, and when that little girl started messing with my head, my god. I've never Alt F4'd so hard. I remember VHS, of course I do. I've still got VHSs. I've got the Beatles' Yellow Submarine on VHS. I remember. When I was younger, I remember using a cassette player to record songs off the radio because that was the only way you could get them at the time, unless you wanted to go out and buy the CD. It is a good film. Yellow Submarine, I love it. Though, watching it as a kid, I liked it because it was a shiny cartoon. As an adult, now I watch it and actually understand what it's on about. It's a very different, very different film. How did that work? Well, you'd put your cassette in the player, and then you'd play the radio through your cassette player. You'd have to have it'd be like on a hi-fi system, you'd have to do it. And then you'd have to wait for your song to come on the radio, if they played it, that is. And then, and then you'd actually have to play and record to record it. The Blue Meanies. Yes, your loneliness. I mean, no, your loneliness. Hand, get them for me, hand. So scary the Blue Meanies were. Jesus, that woman was terrifying. Dub tapes from the radio. Yeah, basically. Yeah, Raven's Eagle, yeah, basically. Exactly the same as VHS. Yeah, and then they'd have little plastic tabs on them. If you broke the tab, you wouldn't ever be able to record on the tape again. So how are we doing here? The Romans... Oh, yeah, pretty much absolutely slaughtering the way through our zombies here. God, look at this. Look how high they've actually managed to get these bodies now. Look at that. That is some height on these bodies. Oh my god, look at this one. They are literally almost roof fighting now. See, I hate mobile phones. I can't stand them. I think mobile phones have dumbed us down as a society, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, I have got one because it's important, you know, emergencies, contacting, talking to people, all that kind of stuff, yeah. But it has made us dumber. It's got rid of the art of conversation, I believe. Oh, gosh. I bet they're worth a bob or two, aren't they, Dave? Aren't they like collector's items, the vinyls? Or the originals? I bet they'd be worth a small fortune. Oh yeah, I store no personal information on my phone whatsoever. Gosh. So that's someone else I'd like to have been able to have seen. The Beatles. The Beatles, Jefferson Aeroplane. I'd love to be able to go see them as well. Yeah, it is, Fabio, you're right. Because it depends what you're looking up. You can educate yourself in the wrong things, unfortunately, with the internet. Well, yeah. Well, if you think, Brandon, at the beginning, at the turn of the century, we'd barely invented tanks, you know, all that kind of stuff. There was tanks, machine guns, TV, radio, X-rays, the internet, the moon landing. So in 100 years, with the advantage, the technological advances we've had have been absolutely insane. Black Sabbath, yes. Now that is a bit of a bit. I got to see Black Sabbath, but I was in my mother's womb at the time, so I don't know if that counts. Yes, Ozzy Osbourne, what an absolute legend. And Tony Iommi as well. What an amazing guitar player. Yeah, I was there. Whether I appreciated it or not at the time, I was still there. I know, the amount of video footage that we're going to have of this time period. But, I'm sorry, but how, in 1,000 years' time, do you explain memes, some of the memes that have come about on the internet? How do you explain that to archaeologists in 1,000 years' times? You know, it's like that coffin meme where there's them guys carrying the coffin with the music in the background. How do you explain that to archaeologists when they dig up someone's hard drive in 1,000 years' time? They're going to think we were all sorts of weird. Yes, Brandon, that is actually very true, yeah. And it's also the first conflict in Europe since, proper conflict in Europe since World War II, which is also somewhat terrifying. Our Romans have now killed 156,000 zombies. My god, there is only 26,000 zombies left. Oh god, look at this. What an absolute wall of blood and bodies. I love where you can see the remnants of combat have been. And we've got our Romans now are actually encircling the zombies here. Oh yes, the Roman archers are basically 3 times as effective as medieval archers. The Roman archers have armour which deflects arrows for starters. So they are a lot better than the standard ones. However, in my personal opinion, I think they look stupid as hell with the hats. Or helmets as they would want to create. Helmets, as you'd call them. Not hats. I guess they don't wear hats, they wear helmets, don't they? You don't want to wear a hat to war. Well, Brandon, it's more so than that. We've actually got rail guns and lasers, to be honest. So, you know, it's gone for... We've advanced beyond the bullet at this point. Yeah, you know, when you go to war, always wear your hat. It'll stop bullets. VR, yeah. You see, we got my stepson, he was 13, we've got him a VR headset not so long ago, and he started playing it, and it looks really fun, and I want to go off it, and I might record some videos with VR, I don't know yet. We'll have to see how it goes, depends if it makes me vomit. You always have to wear a hat. You got a war hat, and then you got to put on your helmet on top of your war hat. War hat. I prefer that name to helmet. Where's your war hat? No, not I don't think UBS 2 is VR, but I was on about more a couple of other games like Boneworks and things like that. That Pavlov, that looks quite fun. Yeah, it only increased head injuries, Harry, is because people stopped complaining. It only could... Sorry, let me start again. It only increased head injuries because people were able to complain because they were now actually living through being shot in the head. You can't complain of an injury when you're dead. Well, we use lasers more against missiles and drones and aircraft, aren't they, I suppose, at the moment? It's very effective against missiles. I think it costs $1.50 to shoot a missile out the sky. So, that's quite effective to me. Gosh, VR being standard. Yeah, I think that's what, at least that's what the promotional video for the weapon said. It costs $1.50 to shoot the laser. Well, I believe ironically, the British aviation industry released a paper saying that they don't actually get many complaints after an air crash. And it's like, yeah, I wonder why you don't get many complaints after an airplane crash. Not to state the obvious, is it because there's not many people left alive to complain about the fact that the plane crashed? And if they do live, I'm pretty sure that they're just mostly happy to be alive. I had to take a sip of coffee, keep me going. That's very true, yeah. Yeah, you can get them pen lasers, can't you? And they're quite powerful. They can actually blind people. Yeah, I haven't tried VR yet, but sometimes I get a bit motion sick with things, so I'm a bit iffy and awry about it. But that Pavlov game in VR looks so much fun that I kind of want to try it out. Chad. Oh, Dave, I've got a chihuahua and 3 cats, and yeah, when the laser pointer comes out, it's all-out warfare. Everyone goes mental. Like I said, it depends if his phase is set to stun or not. If it's set to stun, then I'm pretty sure the Roman Empire would wipe the floor with him. Tap your feet? Oh, I guess so, yeah. You can see like how psychologically that could help. Yeah, Blade and Sorcery does look fun. Yeah. Well, there is some tablets as well that you can have that sort of are meant to help with it. And I think also if I turn down things like motion blur and stuff like that, it helps a lot. Oh yeah, but there is actually cloaking tech already in service, isn't there, Brandon? I don't know if you know. There is stuff that can trick night vision goggles, so say if you're looking at a tank through night vision goggles, the tank can appear as just a normal, everyday civilian vehicle. So you wouldn't even be able to tell it's a tank through night vision goggles. It just shows up as a civilian car. Bit scary. And they've also got suits that project the image of behind you on the front of them, so they're somewhat invisible. Not invisible, but just makes you look see-through. Yeah, right. That's pretty much what I'm going to have to do, I think, to be able to play VR. So where are our last 100 zombies here? They're somewhere. Where are they? We've got so many bodies piled up here. And it just looks like a lot of zombies committed suicide, to be honest. Hi, Struts. I'm fine, thank you, matey. How are you? I think we found some of the zombies there. Well, I think there's only one thing for it, guys. The zombies are pretty much dead at this point. There's 46 of them left, and there's only a few... Well, there's 19,000 Romans left. The Romans pretty much slaughtered them. So, you know, good old nuke. Oh, trust me, Struts, I know that feeling, mate. I know all about being tired. It's currently 10 to 3 in the morning for me. Well, there we go. That solved the zombie problem. And the Roman problem. In fact, it solved most problems, as nukes do. But, oh my god, look at this body pile here that the Romans made. God, how quiet it went all of a sudden as well. So, the last thing I want to do here is I actually want to see if they fixed this dam. So, okay, so it explodes. But does the water come out? Does the water come out? No. I don't think the water comes out. It's still there. It's still a solid wall, look. The camera doesn't go through it. It gets pushed up into the air. Oh well. Hopefully they'll fix it that eventually. Gosh. Oh, gosh. The game's having a struggle then. For a second, I thought my game had crashed then. Right, guys, I've got time for one more battle. I'm going to let you decide amongst yourselves what you want to do. You'll come to a consensus amongst yourselves while I go to the toilet. So, decide amongst yourselves. Back in a moment. So, do you guys decide what you wanted? Yeah, we can have a third team if you guys wanted. Hi, Jen. Welcome. You're only allowed a maximum of 4 teams, unfortunately, in this game, as you can see here. So, you can't have a 20-unit free-for-all, unfortunately. The maximum free-for-all type you can have is 4. What would you guys like? We could do a quick 4-way if you want. Set it to the desert dunes and do a 4-way. What teams would you like here? Four-way. Yeah, we're going to do a 4-way. So, what do we want, guys? Roman generals, Spartans, knights, Egyptians. Everyone put in what you want, and we'll take the most common answers, and we'll put them all into a battle. So far, we've got Roman generals definitely being in it by the looks of it. Spartans, yeah. We put in heavy knights in. Everyone okay with that? What shall we have as our last team? Just need the last team here now. I don't know what to go for. We could have Egyptians, we could have trolls. The trolls would probably win, let's face it. Egyptians? Chickens? Oh, don't tempt me with chickens. 2 for Egyptians, so yeah, we'll stick with Egyptians. Yeah, okay, let's give this a whirl then. So we've got Roman generals, Spartans, heavy knights, and Egyptian warriors. Are we sure we want Roman generals? Aren't they just going to slaughter everyone? Or should they be normal Roman soldiers? Wouldn't that be more fair? Because I've got a feeling the Roman generals would kill all 3 of the armies. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought, yeah. I've got a feeling that the Roman generals will literally take on all 3 armies all by themselves. Normal ones. Yeah, it might be better. Oh, we could adjust the numbers and only have 10,000. Yeah, there you go, guys. What do you want? 10,000? You can either have 100,000 Roman soldiers or 10,000 generals. Which do you think's fairer? Struts really wants a John Wick in here. But he'd be the only ranged character in there, and he'd get swarmed instantly and die. 10k generals, 10k generals. Oh, it's a draw so far. We've got 2 people for 10k generals. We've got 2 people for 100k Romans. He's only defeated when they stop making sequels. Okay, I think we'll stick with the normal. We'll keep it as even as possible this way. Okay. Well, that just broke the tie. We're going 10k generals. We're doing the 10k generals, so that broke the tie. Oh gosh, they're already overlapping each other. Oh dear. I probably should have moved the Roman generals a little bit closer. I forgot about that part. This centre part here is going to be an absolute massacre. Let's kick it off. Oh my god. In fact, the generals just kind of split the Spartan army in 2 there. Well, they're making a peace symbol so far, ironically. So look at the Roman generals over here then. Oh my god. I love the way these knights look. They are really cool looking unit. I love how you can just see like a porcupine's effect. Let's have a look what's going over on the flanks at the end over here. So, the Spartans are definitely faster, which you'd expect because they are only in loincloths. So they're going to get the wraparound on the ends here. What about on this side over here? We'll come back to our generals because they're absolutely slaying everyone at the moment. So, what have we got here? These are the Egyptians. Again, faster than the heavy knights, so they're going to get the wraparound on their end. Straight back over here because I don't want to miss these Roman generals in action here because they're just absolutely slaughtering their way through everyone, as you can see here. Oh my. An absolute bloodbath. I can't remember what teams what. I really should make notes of these before. So I think the Roman generals were team 1. And then I think we had Spartans on team 2, heavy knights on team 3, and Egyptians on team 4, if I remember rightly. Wow. These generals are absolute beasts of war. They are just absolutely massacring these Egyptian troops here. Like they're struggling with 1 or 2 of them. Even when they're swarming the Roman generals, they are absolutely getting wrecked still. The heavy knights, though, are having quite an even match here. On this side, anyway, against Spartans. I believe our cannon fodder here are definitely going to be the Egyptians, though. I think the Egyptians are just getting absolutely slaughtered. They've only killed about 5,000. Gosh, look at how much the Roman generals have done compared to the others. The Roman generals are just cleaning house here. There is a heck of a lot of Spartans on this side. I think the Spartans here have realised who the real danger for them is. They've gone and taken on the Roman generals. Look at our Porky. This is pointing upwards spiky against forward facing spiky. That's what this is here. The poke versus swing. The interesting part will be what will happen, because let's face it, the Egyptians here are pretty much dead. I don't think they're getting through this at all. They've virtually got no chance. Considering the Roman generals have killed 30,000 and we've got 6,000 left. The Spartans, though, are following close behind with 22,000 kills. However, our knights have killed 43,000, and I think it's all because of this front here. I think they're just racking up the kill count from the Egyptians. The Egyptians, wow, they could have been from a very long period in time history. What was it? Gosh, come on, brain, think. Was it like 20 BC to 650 BC, they were under Roman control. I think they declared independence in 650 BC, AD, maybe? Yeah, I think they declared, yeah. And, oh gosh, my brain's failing me now. I'm pretty sure Egypt declared independence from Rome in 650 AD. So it has lasted after that for quite a while as well. And then I believe it was Oh no, that was it. It was because it became a caliphate. That was it. I do know a little bit about history, yeah. I do find it interesting, to be honest. But yeah, I believe Egypt became a caliphate and they declared independence from Rome. History is very interesting, I find. Some of the things that have happened in human history is beyond insane. Yeah, Egypt lasted a lot longer than Rome. If I was to add another army into this game, what would it be? Oh, well, of course, it would be the British Army. The modern British Army, of course. Because I feel like the 18th century muskets that they've got in the game, I feel like they're more American Civil War type of muskets. Troops. Yeah, the Egyptians got slaughtered. Oh, I'm too sorry. Yeah, the Egyptians got really slaughtered here. Or was it 641 AD? Was that when they declared independence? Yeah, 60. Yeah, because the Battle of Actium was around 30 BC, which is when the Roman Empire actually fell. Well, no, that's when Roman Republic was dissolved and the Roman Empire began in 30 BC, or around that time period. Yeah, I'd love to see the modern British Army in this. Few Churchill tanks as well. Because don't forget, before before Rome, it was all Alexander the Great was there. Yeah, 30 BC to... yeah, that was the Roman influence over ancient Egypt, and then it got turned into a Muslim caliphate. Thank you! Yeah, see? I thought I knew a little bit. Thank you for that, Chad. So, let's see what we've got going on here. The knights have absolutely slaughtered the way through the entire Egyptian army. The Spartans here are still fighting neck and neck, actually. I'm actually kind of surprised here. This looks extremely even. This fight does between the heavy knights and the Spartans. Well, Alexander left an absolute legacy behind him. He was a lover of Cleopatra. He had a city named after him, Alexandria. Ironically, that's where Cleopatra took her own life as well. In the city of Alexandria. Kind of a poetic justice there, here in Mark Antony. Wow, these Roman generals have absolutely slain so many Spartans. It's unbelievable. Samurai. Now that'd be really cool, actually, yeah. Oh gosh, I'd love to see... I swear in the old one they had an Asian faction in it. I swear they had like spearmen and swordsmen. Thanks, Chad. Yeah. I've got a brain like a sieve. Unfortunately, my mind, it's like a sieve and a ping pong machine. If you could imagine the ball inside a pinball machine, that's my brain. Just pings all over the place.
Oh, Shogun, how are you?
I miss the old Shogun Total War game. What an amazing game that was. Genghis Khan. Flipping heck. Didn't he kill like 40 odd million people or something like that? Wasn't it like a third or half of the world's population at the time he killed? Something insane like that. If I could be a leader in history, who would I be? Now that is a tough question. Oh god, you know what? I have no idea who I would be. Because all of them have done really bad things, haven't they, really? Let's face it. There's not been a single one of them who's been absolutely perfect. So, if I could be a leader, I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. Personally, I don't think many of them are absolved of sin. He killed a lot of blokes. I think he killed a lot of women as well, and children possibly. I think he just killed everything, didn't he? I'm actually amazed here that the Roman... Sorry. Yawning there. I'm actually amazed here that the Roman generals are still alive, considering there was only 10,000 of them. They've just killed 65,000 so far. That's why the Gatling gun was invented, wasn't it? The Gatling gun was actually invented to make war more humane, believe it or not. The inventor thought, well, if everyone dies quicker, then it's more humane, isn't it? Yeah, but the problem is you've just enabled the death of a lot more people. Oh, it'd be in their mind and not actually do anything. In that case... Yeah. I don't know. I still don't know. I'd probably be Julius Caesar, or someone like that, to be honest. Just to experience how crazy of a life he had. Well, actually, Chid, it was the knights who had most of the Egyptians next to them. The knights have killed 107,000 so far. So the knights are actually in the lead. They've killed the most. They've got the most troops left. Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Julius Caesar's end was pretty nasty, but think of some of the partying he did up to the end. He would have had some of the best parties that you could have going. Like I said, I think the insane thing about the Gatling gun is that they invented it to make war humane. That's just, it's a balmy conclusion. You know what, I would love to see a real, as violent as it would be, I would love to see a real gladiator fight. I mean, I don't even know if you actually know much about the gladiator arenas, but that film with Russell Crowe in it did not do it any justice. In summer in Rome, they would fill the Colosseum with water, they would get ships in there, and there would quite literally be thousands of people fighting in the arena in ship battles and things like that. It was one hell of a spectacle. It wasn't just a couple of men fighting over some sand. In Rome, they would literally fill it up with water, put ships in it, and each ship would have 50 odd slaves on it, and they'd all fight to the death. It was absolute insanity. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, there was massive orgies in Rome. If you remember, Pompeii was an offshoot of Rome, and Pompeii is famous for being nothing but giant orgies. Yeah, that's where it comes from, Raven. They literally put battleships inside the arenas, and people had paid to go and watch the ships fight each other. Absolute insanity. Because you got to think, once you've seen a couple of men stab each other, the spectacle's, you know, it's pretty normal. So they'd have to keep upping and upping the ante bit by bit as people got more and more used to the violence. Bit like any normal reality TV show, really, to be honest, if you think about it. It starts off a bit tame and it gets crazier and crazier and crazier as it goes on. So, I think what we've discovered here is that in a four-way battle, heavy knights are by far the superior fighters here, because... God, actually, I don't know, there's still a fair few over here, Spartans-wise, but the knights are almost double the number. You see, everyone... The whole thing about travelling back in time, I think there's one thing that people always forget about travelling back in time, and that's the smell. It's like, it'd be really cool to go back to the medieval times, but then you don't really think of how bad the medieval times would actually smell. No one washes, all the clothes are washed in quite literally in piss, so they smell of ammonia. You know, these just some of the practices that people like throwing poo out onto the street, you know what I mean? And there's just piss and poo everywhere and rotting things, and it's the medieval times must have smelt god awful, that's all I can say. And that's the thing, I would love to go back in time, but I'd need a gas mask to go back with me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly right, Dave. It's where the saying taking the piss comes from back in the day, because, like I said, they used to use ammonia in urine to clean clothes. So they'd literally collect piss in pots, and people would steal other people's piss to sell to the people who clean clothes, and that's where the saying taking the piss comes from. It literally means someone stole your piss. Oh yeah, the medieval times were gross beyond belief. Oh yeah, they did wash, if they could afford to wash though. That was the thing, Raven's Eagle. A lot of people couldn't afford to wash. Not properly, anyway. What did he do before toilet paper? Get up and walk away? Either that or there are notes, was it in... there are notes of people using animals. So, you know... There are notes of people using a goose to wipe their arse with and things like that. And it didn't say the goose was dead either. That's the horrible thing. So, yeah. Yeah, all leaves, yeah. Or just get a bit of water and give it a good old rub. The old-fashioned way. I'm not surprised, to be honest. The ugly duckling, yeah. It wasn't a black duckling, it was brown. To be honest, it's kind of crazy how a lot of the common sayings that we have are really dark. Like, I'm sure you all know the nursery rhyme Ring a Ring a Roses, but isn't that a reference to the Black Death? Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. I'm pretty sure it was a reference to the Black Death, which is nothing nice about that at all. Yeah, I definitely think that we've sorted out the delay problem that I had the other day. I was definitely streaming at too high of a bitrate and it was causing the stream to lag. So I think I've got it sorted now. It seems way better. Well, I know in the UK the king had something called the Groom of the Stool, which was literally a man who would sit inside the toilet and watch the king poo, and then he would wipe the king's arse. So yeah, and it was a very sought after position, very, well respected position at the time. But he would quite literally come in, you would stare at his arsehole and he'd shit on you, and then you'd wipe his arse. What a time to come back, Dog Duck. You'd say it's a horrid profession, Chen, but the people who did it got given castles and stuff like that. The Romans won that one. They basically absolutely annihilated the zombies. 2-to-1 kill job. There was a lot of nasty jobs in medieval history. In medieval times, sorry. A lot of jobs that you wouldn't want to do at all. If you ever want to know the most horrid jobs, there was a TV show called The Most Horrid Jobs in History, and some of them were absolutely vile. Like cleaning people's clothes, for instance, as a profession, you are quite literally walking and standing in people's piss. Oh yeah, if you paid well, it's all right, isn't it? I haven't, sorry Brandon, no, I haven't heard that song. We managed to pile up bodies about 2 stories high, and then we tested to see if the dam worked. The dam didn't work, it's still broken. And now we've just done a 4-way battle. Monthly sack of taters. So I think we got our answer here. It pretty much looks like our heavy knights have won. Weeks versus Scots. Sir, there appears to be a giant orange bush heading towards us. By God, Baldric, that's no orange bush, that's the Scots. Four is the maximum teams yet, and I believe it's 22 units total. 22, different units total. So, there we go. We have 13,000 knights left, and the knights racked up 127,000 kills. The Spartans sort of did defeat the Roman generals, but to be fair, the Roman generals, I mean, look at this is from the Roman generals, and only the Roman generals did this here. The Roman generals put up a really good fight. The Roman generals killed 65,000 of the Spartans, so yeah, for 10,000 of them, I think that's pretty good, don't you? Look at that. It's actually, it kind of looks like a drawing. I don't know what it's a drawing of. I don't know. Looks like some sort of ancient symbol, doesn't it? Don't know what symbol it is, but yeah. There we go. No, it's the same voiceover. Chin. That just literally just uploads the VOD straight after it, and that's it. Right, guys, it is currently 3:30 in the morning for me, so I think I'm going to call it there, and I'm going to get some shut-eye, because I've probably got to get up about 5 or 6 o'clock. I've got to get up in a few hours, because my daughter will be waking up for a feed. So, I'm going to call it there. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I am currently editing the other video. I've just got to do some voiceover for it. However, it's finding the time to actually get the voiceover done. So I'm hoping to do that in the next day or so. And hopefully we should have a new video then. Yay! So I hope you all had a fantastic evening. And I'll see you all in the next live stream. Probably tomorrow, in fact. Night.